Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Yes, good afternoon, beautiful people. How are we? Welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. You know that already by now. Before I bring in my two amazing guests, two Scousers this week for Kop to Bottom, please do not forget to press like on the video. We don't like making these videos and putting the hours in behind the scenes if you don't show a little bit of love. So please, all it takes, click that like button before we move on. Also, subscribe if you haven't already, and do please as well subscribe to the lads that I'm about to bring on. One of them goes by the name of James Redmond, and the other one goes by the name of Welford TV / Finn. How are we, the firm?
Welford, let's spread Scouts all over this live stream, my mate. Let's do it. Let's show them how it gets done. Come in. I'm absolutely marvellous.
How are we, bros? You good?
Absolutely marvellous. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good to hear. Yeah, look at that. So Welford in the background there, we have the third kit, the yellow kit from, let me guess, is that the 86 away shirt?
I think you might, I think so, yeah.
It's 86 away, love that knowledge, that is, mate. And obviously the home kit as well. And James got his set up there as well with the flag behind him. We love that stuff. But of course, guys, if you haven't been familiar with the show already, let me tell you what it is. It's called Kop to Bottom, that's right. And it's a Premier League preview show. We round up and look forward to 5 games that are going on in the Premier League in this match day. So let's get into them, really. The first one that we will be looking at is, of course, the first game to kick off this weekend. I'm just going to wait till James gets back because I know he'll want to talk about this one. And this one is... Oh, no, he's gone again. I've got to get him in the shot. So for when we clip this up, he's in the shot. Do you know what I mean? So there he is again. I think he's back with us now, putting his headphones on. So that's great. So,
I wanted to basically show you this, my latest investment. Wait there.
Oh, yeah? What's this?
Yeah.
Bang!
That's sick.
El Nino against United.
Where'd you get that, bro?
Amazon.
How much is that?
I just saw it. I think it was only like 20 quid, but boys, I just saw it and I was like, that's getting put up somewhere. Yeah, I've got a Gerrard one over there.
That's what you ran around did.
Before we go ahead.
Yeah, like, it's a much smaller one, but it's still quality though.
So we're basically getting a tour of James's room.
13-14.
Oh, okay. That goal was against Everton. That was the header against Everton at the near post.
Man. He went Suarez with the assist.
You know that 4-0 final score. Sturridge scored a great one.
Sturridge has a great game. He should have got a hat-trick. He hit the bar, didn't he, or did it just go over?
Is it weird? Let us know in the comments how I can tell what game it was from the picture. Is that something
Not
everyone
really.
knows?
I think that's I knew what photo it was.
Instantly.
I don't know if that's because that was a big game for me.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
Channing says, Welford and James, sick. Absolutely. Your midfield should be Hendo, Fabinho and Ginny. We'll get into that later, Mr. Kaif. Ali says, yes, boys. Yes, James, lad. Scouse Power says, Amir. Love that. I was in James's stream yesterday. Perfect. James, what's up, lads? How are you?
What's going on, the boys? Hey, shout out to everyone. Make sure you smash the like. It only takes a second. Make sure you go and subscribe to Welford. Make sure you're already subscribed here. And subscribe to me.
It's right. Lucas saying we need to win. Right, so the first game that we are going to preview is a very, very special one. It's the first game of the weekend. And it's Leicester versus Liverpool at the King Power Stadium. Let's get into some form first and foremost before we really dissect this. This is third versus fourth. It's been a long time since it was Leicester in third and Liverpool in fourth. Obviously, Liverpool have lost 3 out of the last 5, 2 in a row that we've lost. Leicester drew their last game, but they also have 2 in the last 5. So both teams really showing a little bit of inconsistency, really, James. A huge game, obviously, against our former manager. Early kickoff on a Saturday. Traditionally, James, we don't like 12:30 kickoffs on a Saturday.
I'm like, I don't like 12:30 kickoffs on a Saturday because it's too early.
Ruin your weekend.
Ruins your weekend. It ruins your weekend if you lose that game. And you know what? if I said I weren't nervous for this game, I would be lying to all your faces and all the lovely people watching this video, because I am nervous. I'm nervous for many, many reasons. And people will say to me, you know, like, oh, but James got a great goal, a great record against Leicester, this, that, and the other. All bollocks. Records mean nothing when it's not even the same team. Don't be comparing records to when Van Dijk and Gomez, when we actually had a defence, when we actually had proper centre-backs playing. Don't compare the situations, because it shouldn't be compared. It's a completely different game. I know Leicester are like this, and, you know, we usually do all right, and we beat them last time, but it's always just one that you've always got to be curious of. It's always one that, when you see their team, they've got threats all over the pitch. Bear in mind, they're actually informed. They do have a few injuries, but not to the point where it actually affects them. Jamie Vardy's going to be fit. You know what he's like against us. Harvey Barnes, he's been great all season. Tielemans, Ndidi, may I go on? They've just got Maddison. You know, they've just got a number of players there that can easily, no doubt, get a goal against Liverpool with the form that we're in and the mistakes that we're making. They're going to focus on Trent as well. Barnes is going to be up against Trent. That's going to be a number one thing that we're going to have to watch out for. But just a quick, though, before you move on to Welford, I just want to touch on, do you know the combined 11 we done yesterday on my channel?
Yeah.
Mane goes back in for Barnes.
Oh, so you changed it?
Do you want me to tell you why? Do you want me to just tell you why dead quick? They've got the same goals and the same assists in the league, and Mane's played 2 less games. Boom!
Oh, okay. Mate, so Mane's shit season is a great season for Harvey Barnes, is what you're saying, basically.
Basically, is what I noticed. I was thinking, I was probably just comparing Mane to his standards, but yeah.
Listen, when you're that good, you do get compared to your standards.
When you're the best player in the world.
There are rumours that Justin James is out of this one.
He is.
A bit of injury news there. So, I mean, he's been one of their best players, if not their best player this season, and Didi's out as well. They've got a few key injuries, Welford, in this one.
Yeah, definitely a bit like us. Everyone just seems to get injured. Obviously, they lost Vardy a couple of weeks ago, and he's meant to be out for like 7 weeks, a bit like De Bruyne, but magically reappears as soon as we play them, of course. But yeah, Justin is a great player. Obviously, he scores some worldies, especially from fullback. He does a shift both sides of the pitch as well. And for me, he's a massive player for them. And not too sure about Ndidi as well. So their team's a bit hum and ahh as well. So, but yeah, as James said, the list of players he mentioned before, just they've got so much class on the pitch, top to bottom. Schmeichel, he's just ridiculous. He can pull off some world class saves. And the form we've been on in the attacking side is not the greatest, and their defence is very good. Obviously, Soyuncu back, Ricardo Pereira back, Fofana, I think will be fit for our game. They've just got a world-class back line. It's going to be very, very tough, and they're like a counter-attacking side, and we're not sure what Liverpool's back line is going to be. Are we going to risk the 2 new centre-half? I would like to see us do that, but I honestly don't know. But it's going to be a good game nevertheless, and I think there could be a couple of goals in it with a couple of players out, and defensively a lot of players out for both sides. So yeah, a lot of goals I'm going to predict.
A lot of goals. Let's just quickly touch on the score prediction. I mean, on James's channel last night, I said 2-1. I'm sticking with it. It's more hopeful, to be honest, rather than realistic, considering the form that we've got right now. But are you guys similar to that?
Yeah, I'll go 3-2. Why not? I feel like this is the time where we need to show our consistency, show that why we were champions last year, and just go for it. And again, I think we're well out of the title race. So for me, I'm not too fussed. But the main thing I want to see is a lot of changes in the starting 11. I want to see Henderson, Fab back in the midfield. Maybe put Shaqiri in for Firmino, just to change the odd 1 or 2 things. I think because I'd rather change something and get a point than keep with the same team that we have over the past couple of weeks and draw. You know what I mean? So for me, I'll go 3-2.
3-2. Joe Brady says 3-0 Liverpool. Obviously, we won their last season 4-0, lads, on Boxing Day. What an incredible performance that was from Trent. Hopefully, we can get something similar. Jamie Lane says 2-2. And then Ali says 3-1 Salah 2 and Ginny. James, just before we move on, what's your score prediction, my brother?
Right, I've got a dilemma, and here's my dilemma. So, you can look at this in many different ways, can't you? And one of the ways that you can look at it is, it depends how Liverpool play. Like, and I know that's every game, but now is a more unpredictable time more than ever of how you think Liverpool are going to set out, how you think Jurgen Klopp is going to set the team. You don't know if he's going to go with them, and we're going to get into the lineup and whatnot, but you don't know if he's going to play Henderson and Fabinho at the back. You don't know if he's going to play them in the midfield. You don't know if we're going to see Kabak or Davies. So it massively depends on what lineup we go with. And again, we'll mention it in a minute, but for the lineup that I think he's going to go with, fucking, I'm going to say 2-1 to Liverpool. 2-1 to Liverpool. I'm not going to
There
be
you go.
non-optimistic.
After all that, you're going back to 2-1.
I'm not going to be non-optimistic. I'm not going to do it.
Right. Okay. No worries. 2-1 to Liverpool.
I refuse to say that
you've
Leicester
got
are
to
going to
be
beat us.
positive, mate. Be positive. Brandon says 2-1 the Mighty Reds. William Jones says 1-1 draw. Sorry, guys. Ronan says 2-1 to Leicester. And Ant Dicko said, looks like we could be playing the Leipzig game at home on neutral ground. Thoughts? We will get into that. And yeah, Beijing Pop says 3-1. Let's move on to the next game. More to come on this Leicester game. I do have a match preview with Lee Chappie coming up, so do stick around for that one. But we also have West Brom versus Manchester United, which actually takes place on Sunday at 2:00. I mean, this is the type of game, James, with West Brom. If you look at their form, I mean, it has been awful since Sam has come in. 4 losses out of the last 5. United obviously doing well. Only 2 wins in 5 for them, to be fair. They did draw their last game. But is this the kind of game for West Brom that if they lose this, then they pretty much are relegated, to be honest? I mean, if we look at their points now, 12 points in total, bro. It's really not looking good for them or Sheffield United. If anyone in that bottom 3 looks like they could get out, it's Fulham, who we will speak about later. But if West Brom lose this, that will be 16 losses in 23, James. Is that too much of a mountain to climb if they lose this one?
The thing is, a lot of them games weren't with Sam Allardyce, and I'd be very interested to see the contrast in records of the 2 managers, because maybe Allardyce is getting to that point where he's about to get them just out of the... everyone like the stream now! But yeah, I think Allardyce is thinking about getting West Brom to the point where he can just about keep them up, and he can do that. He's got the credentials to do it. It's just whether the players are on board to do so. But it's one of them things with this type of game as well. One thing that you've got to really think about. Yes, usually Man United should beat West Brom. Yes, if you look at form, Man United, no doubt. And I've came on this show, Alex, and I've gave Man United the props, even though it's absolutely killed me inside. You can back me up. I've been saying United are going to win games of football, and I think they will win this one. But I don't think it's going to be a whitewash. I don't think it's going to be a clean sweep, and I'll tell you why. And it could even be a draw. They haven't got no Paul Pogba in that midfield. And say what you want about him overall, but over the past 2 months, he's been their best player, and arguably one of the best players in the league. But he's being overlooked because, for whatever reason, he's been massive, integral to their team. And when you think of it from that perspective, and he's out injured now, that's a completely different United team. Yet they've got Bruno, but he's one of them that can carry them out of moments. But Pogba was massive at doing that as well, but he actually linked the play well. Whereas Bruno, he pops up. If you actually watch United, he gets the goal, he gets the assist, he gets the big highlight. But for the rest of the game, he's kind of in and out. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but now they don't have that player in the middle who can keep everything together, and that's massive that Paul Pogba isn't available. So I'm going to say 2-1 to United, but it doesn't surprise me if it's a 1-1. They're away from home, so that's why I'm giving them the edge for the win, because they're really good away from home this season. But other than that, though, if it was at home, I'd probably say a draw.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think away form United have been incredible. Only lost to us away in the last kind of 18 months, which is incredible, really, if you think about it.
Wow.
Welford, is this an easy away win for you?
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like what James said then with the Pogba, he just like when you see Fred come on against Everton, I think it was, he just like he's still a great player, Fred. I think he's very underrated in that United team, but it just misses the presence of Pogba, in my opinion. He's just so big and just so powerful. He's a bit like Henderson. Yeah, I mean, it's just such, exactly. Like you could tell, like there's a massive gap missing. As soon as he came off, you just felt like the tempo, the energy. Like Henderson for us, when he's in our midfield, he gets everything going. He's just a big player, big presence in that midfield. I feel like they will miss him massively. And as James said, he came up with some massive moments in the past couple of months, Burnley away with a goal that won it dead late on. Fulham, when you were hanging on a bit there, getting the draw, then he pops out of a wonder strike. And I feel like for me, I think United have realised that, like when you take Henderson out of Liverpool's midfield, the players you can see the players that they miss him, and it's not the same game and not the same players with the same chemistry and tempo. But I feel like for me, United will still get this win here. They've still got class players like Cavani, Rashford, who can still score. Obviously, Bruno, who's being ridiculous this year. He's got like a goal assist every game. So I'll back United. I'll go 2-1 as well, but I don't think it's going to be as easy. But I do feel for West Brom. I think Sam, I just can't stand him, but he did when he came in.
I wouldn't feel sorry for Sam Allardyce, mate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I don't think anyone
West
does.
Brom, but it was a hard job, and I don't think anyone really expected him to come in and keep them up. And as you said, to get like 12 points out of like 18 games or something, it's not good enough. And I think they're written off already, in my opinion. But you never know. You never know.
Love that. As Ryan says, please do press the like button, guys. Good morning to you, Ryan. I think he's out in Toronto, so 6 hours behind, 5 hours behind. So big up to you, Ryan. Grand rising. And Dicko reckons a 0-0. And Jamie Lane, he's going to have to become a mod because he's saying 27 people, 16 likes. Come on, 20 likes, guys. Love that, Jamie. Brilliant stuff. Right, James, what do you reckon about this game? Because Everton last night played an absolute
That game last night was crazy.
5-4.
I don't think they'll go and win the FA Cup, but simply for the fact City are in there. But this is easily, without trying to blow smoke up our little cousin's ass, it's one of them things, mate. Like, they're the best they've been in years. They've got a great manager. It shouldn't be shocking. Someone came on my channel, and they were like, James, you're praising Everton. It was like, my number one LFC podcast is praising Everton, unsubscribed. And I was like, fine, but you've got to give them credit where credit is due. If I commit myself to talking about Premier League football, which this show is about, I'm not just going to chat shit. Listen, I laugh at Everton when they do crap. I laugh at Everton when you remind me that they haven't won a trophy since 1995. And if any Everton fan starts coming at me... Since 1995, I haven't won a trophy. Anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. But it's like, and whatever Everton fans want to say to me, I can always come back with something else. We're just better than you. We've been better than you recently. We're better than you overall, so it doesn't matter. But if you're talking about right now, and on current form, and that game against Tottenham, they're way more clinical than what we are. They don't play better football. They haven't got better individuals, but they're taking the chances. They had 17 chances in that game against Spurs, and they actually took them. If you think of the runs where they've had good spells this season, bad spells this season, they always still come through with goals. So you can say what you want about the team and the way they play, but they've got a world-class manager. The players are confident. They've got some good individuals, and they're actually putting away the chances. Tottenham had 29 shots compared to their 17, and Everton was still able to score 5. It's like, bear in mind, they've got Harry Kane's son. So who's more likely to get that many goals? That's all I'm trying to say. It's Everton are the problem, man. Everton are the problem. This will be that Goodison as well. I don't see this being an issue. To be fair, actually, let me retract that. Fulham are a very difficult game that people kind of underestimate. A lot of big sides underestimate. So I think it'll be close. But if you're talking about anyone who has a more likely chance of getting the edge, got to go with Everton, surely.
Yeah, Everton, 2 wins in 5, drew their last game, but Fulham doesn't look good for them. 2 wins all season, 9 draws and 11 losses already. 2 losses in their last 5. The rest were made up of draws. Welford, is this one where if Everton score early, the game is totally over?
Yeah, but I feel like for me, Fulham, when I've watched Fulham, they have not been that bad, in my opinion. I think United, they put a good shift in against us. They battered us and deserve 3 points, in my opinion. Then obviously West Ham played very, very well, but just couldn't get that goal and obviously get a point, which is all right in their case. But I feel like for me, it's a lot harder game than a lot of people are thinking. But James said a lot of good points there. Everton have been very, very good this season. And for me, I think they should be doing better. I think next year we'll see an even better side than Everton, which is worrying. I don't like to say it, but I think honestly we can see a better Everton. But yeah, I think Everton will get a win. We're going to go 2-1 for this one, but it's going to be tough and a lot harder than Everton will expect it. And Alan and that Rodriguez coming back fit, and I think we play them next, don't we, in the league next week? So tough game. But yeah, I think Everton should easily get the win in this. But it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and if they get the win in this one, that means they're definitely going to come to Anfield on the 20th in good hope as well. Obviously, they haven't won at Anfield since 1999. Big game at Anfield on next Saturday. Obviously, we've lost at home to Brighton, Burnley and City now. So let's hope
it doesn't even matter that it's at home. Like, literally, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but if we lose again now, it means that 4 teams have kind of smashed their hoodoos of not winning at Anfield.
Listen,
we can't
boys,
can't have Everton winning.
It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Like, listen, about the hoodoo and all that, like, this is a different team. This isn't the same Liverpool. There isn't fans in the stadium. It isn't the same players. it's not the same order at Anfield no more, because it weren't the building, it weren't the bricks on the wall that made it Anfield. It was everything inside of it. It's facts.
Yeah, man.
So
you're right.
that's the difference.
Love that. Anfield Agenda afternoon, lads. How are we, Anfield Agenda? Very good. If you'd like to see...
I've just whacked me finger, man. Sorry, Craig, because I know that thing going.
Yeah.
Just hit me finger,
James has
man.
hurt his finger there, but if you would like to see Anfield Agenda, Craig, on top of the Kops, go on the channel and watch that, where we preview this weekend's game as well. Right, the next game, two more to get through. Arsenal versus Leeds at the Emirates. A really interesting fixture, this one. Arsenal, like us, lads, have really struggled at home this season. This is actually 10th versus 11th, and the 10th place is Leeds. Leeds are above Arsenal in the Premier League right now. 3 wins in their last 5. Arsenal, of course, went on that mini kind of resurrection run where they won 3 in a row. But then since those wins, they've drawn and lost 2 in a row. So again, awful form. They've lost 10 league games now this season, Arsenal. What do we think for this one? We'll come to Welford first. This is a great game. I can't wait for it. This kicks off on, let me just give you a kickoff time for this game. This is actually on, let's have a little look there. So this is Sunday at 4:30, this one.
Yeah, very, very good game. I think for me, again, it's going to be a couple of goals in this one. Leeds obviously play some mad football, which is amazing to see as a neutral. Not the biggest fan of Leeds, but what they've done and come to this league for the first time in so long and play this type of football is just amazing. You love to see it. And I feel like a lot of teams that aren't such the big six, you can say, should look at Leeds and go, why don't we play like them? But I feel like for me, both defences aren't the best, but not because they're not good. It's just the style of play Leeds especially play. They obviously concede quite a lot of goals, but they enjoy doing that because they like attacking so much. So I feel like, and for me, Arsenal's defence isn't the greatest. They've obviously got Tierney out, who's been class, one of the best left backs in the league this year. Gabriel coming back from injury was a bit shaky at Villa, kind of gave away the goal in my opinion against Villa. But yeah, I think Leeds have got a great attack, and Rafinha, who's been linked with us, is a great player. I really like him. I really like watching him over the past couple of weeks. Wouldn't mind him coming in the summer. But yeah, it's going to be a very good game, and I feel like both defences are going to be on the ropes a lot for the whole game. So I'm going to go for this 2-2.
Yeah, love that. You're going for 2-2. James, a lot of comments coming in here. A lot of mixed ones, really. Saka the GOAT, obviously an Arsenal fan, saying 4-3 to Leeds. Cameron saying Leeds will smash Arsenal away from home. Top Her says 2-0 to Arsenal. Obviously, it is at the Emirates, but they have lost this season to the likes of Aston Villa and Wolves. What is the feeling around this one, James?
I'm actually unsure. It's one of them games where the last game was close as well. I believe they drew last time. I might be wrong there, but 0-0, yeah. So I believe Leicester actually, Leeds absolutely battered them that game statistically in terms of getting chances. But that was when Arsenal were really playing the most dull football. Now, even though over the past 2 games, they haven't really turned up to standards. You know, if you look at actually the past 5 or 6, they've done okay. They've been getting a few more wins. Lacazette's been contributing a lot more. So when you actually think of it like that, mate, fair play. You know what I mean? Like, they've got the quality there to be able to get the goals, and they haven't shown to be a massive flop like what we all thought they were going to. But it's a difficult game, man. I think Leeds are going to cause quite a few problems. I can't like.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game where we've seen in the past down the years as well. Do you remember when Henry came back to Arsenal in the FA Cup game and scored against Leeds? That was a special one. I can't lie. I'm going for an Arsenal home win on this one. I think Leeds are Leeds, which basically means they're massively inconsistent. One week they could win 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 away from them, have the same done to them at their place. This is obviously at the Emirates, so you're expecting Arsenal to be strong, but I reckon it's going to be 2-1 Arsenal. Let me know in the comments. Erect, oh, you almost caught me out there. Erectile dysfunction says it's going to be a 7-7 draw. Also, thoughts on your name. Great stuff. Great banter. You almost got me. Right, the last one that we will be previewing the firm is this one: Manchester City versus Tottenham. This is a Saturday 5:30 kickoff at the Etihad. Let's look at the form. City obviously are just on a crazy run. They've actually won 18 games in a row, I think it is now. 5 wins out of 5 in their last 5 Premier League games. And if you scroll right down You will see Tottenham in 8th place, 3 losses in their last 5, 6 defeats this season. They've only won 10 out of 22 games. This is the kind of game, James, where we would actually really like it if Spurs got something at the Etihad, surely.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me, Alex, lad. We're not going to go for the league title, and even if City do drop points, it's not going to make a difference. They're going to go and win however many games after that. So I'm not looking at this as any type of hopefully Spurs can get something for us, because it doesn't matter. So I'm just looking at it as like it'll be a good game. Obviously, they're playing in a final as well, aren't they, in a week's time or 2 weeks' time. So when you think of it like that, it'll give us a little appetite. And Spurs are terrible on form right now. So who knows, if they do go and get a result, it'll be the biggest shock of the weekend. I just don't see it happening. Mourinho's been making some crazy decisions over the past few weeks, and Spurs, City are in the best form that they've ever been in. This is their longest ever win streak with 14 games in all competitions, and that's ever. Just think of how good they've been in previous years, and this is their best ever streak.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So you can't put past City. I'm saying City 3-0.
Yeah, Welford, similar for you?
Oh, can you hear me?
Actually, I'm going to say 3-1, by the way.
Welford, same thing for you?
Yeah, but City are just one of the better. Like, I can't believe, honest to God, they were like 8-3 at one point when before Christmas, and now they've been on like 15 consecutive wins. Is just ridiculous, and I honestly just can't see any team in Europe beating Leeds, which is very worrying for obviously our last hope of getting silverware this year. But yeah, 2-0. No, I can't see them conceding either. I think obviously Harry Kane is a big threat, and Son, you look at them two, they can do anything, but City are just a different class, and honest to God, you look at the defence, you think, oh, hang on, they've not got Laporte, they've not got this and that, but that Diaz just came in, whatever his name is, and he's just absolutely, I just been worth every single penny. He's just so good, and yeah, we'll probably be the best defender in the league, but yeah, I can't see City dropping points from now to the end of the season, and I can't see them conceding many goals as well, but I'll go 2-0 City.
2-0 City. I mean, obviously, listen, there's no doubt that Ruben Diaz has made Manchester City's defence so much better. But we all have to say, lads, he absolutely got ripped to pieces by Mo Salah at the weekend. Obviously, we lost the game 4-1, and I'm not going to try and claim some sort of victory here. But Salah absolutely got past him, put the pressure onto him, and Diaz had to take him down. And in seasons in the past, bro, that's a red card, what Diaz did to Salah.
Nah, stop it, Alex.
It
wasn't a pen in my opinion. I wouldn't give it a pen. But
I thought it was a pen, yeah, but nah, I wouldn't
definitely
say
a pen.
Yeah, it was a penalty, but I don't think it was. I just think overall, when you think of Diaz, you can't think it was like he got set, like remember when Pepe came to us at Anfield and dribbled past us like twice. And apparently, remember Truth when he said Pepe could, Van Dijk couldn't even handle. Mate, you never Van Dijk had him for the whole game, and you scored 1 goal. You never pocketed him, so yeah. Again, comparing them to standards.
Yeah, erectile dysfunction says City to win 14-0. Rabbi says big up, loving Kop TV and James Redmond in the stream. Meant to say stream, I think. Kop TV always has the best guests. Come on, G, love that. James, why are you always crying? Says Syed. I'm not too sure.
Shut up, Syed.
What you mean there?
If I want to cry, I will cry.
Exactly, nothing wrong with crying. Salah felt like he was shot by a sniper. So exaggerated, says Chubby. But there you go. Listen, that is your half an hour show, your weekly show, Kop to Bottom, where we preview 5 of the biggest games at the weekend. There you go. We've listed off all the scores. I'm actually going to be live with Lee Chappie in the next 15 minutes. So do stick around if you fancy that. But also, like I said, please, if you are part of the Kop TV family, there is absolutely no excuses or reasons why you wouldn't go ahead and follow James Redmond TV, whilst you wouldn't go ahead and follow Welford TV. So please go do it. And we'll see you on the post-match reaction show after the game on Saturday. I've got Lee Chappie next. James and Welford, take care.
Nice one, lads.
See you later, boys.